to talk like an Alaskan, or at least understand what we're saying a little bit better, part 1. Hey, we just moved up from Texas. I cannot wait to ride a snowmobile.
You mean snow machine?
Yeah. Even though the rest of the world may call it a snowmobile, here in Alaska we call it a snow machine. And we can always spot an outsider if they're calling it a snowmobile. Hey, you love fishing. Let me show you some of the fish I caught this summer.
Okay.
All right, this is a really nice red salmon.
That's a silver salmon.
Oh, okay. Well, what about this one? This was a giant silver.
That's a king salmon.
We were so excited to catch this one. It's gonna taste so good.
That's a chum salmon.
Alaska is home to 5 species of Pacific salmon, and it can get a little bit confusing on which ones people are talking about. To make matters even more confusing, each species has its real name and kind of a nickname that it goes by. So if you're not well versed in what these names are and what the species looks like, it can be quite confusing. To top it all off, these salmon look very different when they are fresh and usually very silvery versus when they are spawning and dying in the river. They can look extremely different. Hey, did you plug in the car last night?
What? I don't have an electric car.
It was cold. If you hear someone in Alaska talking about plugging in their car, chances are they're not talking about having an electric car. You will see a plug hanging out of the front of a car, which allows you to plug it in and heat up a block heater so that you can turn your car on when it's really cold outside. That does not mean that it's an electric car.
Mom! Dad was spinning Brodies.
What you may call a donut when someone spins around in an icing parking lot, Alaskans often like to call Brodies. I'm not sure where that name came from, but if somebody told you that they were spinning Brodies, that means that they found some ice and pulled the parking brake and were spinning in circles. Oh my goodness, this is like the best steak I've ever eaten. Where did you get this meat?
We're on the roadkill list.
The what?
Roadkill.
A roadkill list probably sounds pretty crazy, but in Alaska, because things like moose get hit by cars, especially in the dark winter, we have what is called the Roadkill program. You can sign up with a group of people to be called by the state troopers or the police. If a moose is hit on the road and injured, they will kill that moose, and then you are called to come and harvest the meat. That way, none of it goes to waste. So in the end, it really is kind of a cool program. Sometimes a little bit of the meat will be damaged and you aren't able to keep it all, but often there is a lot of good meat to be had, and a lot of people's lives are blessed by being on the roadkill list.
Hey, hon, I can't get the kids. I got an appointment to get some new studs after work today.
Getting a new set of studs does not mean that you're gonna go and get a piercing. In Alaska, when the winter is approaching, you often want to get studs put into your tires so that you can more safely drive on the ice. And people call that getting your studs put on. Yes, I would like to schedule a changeover. We also have a saying called tire changeover. You gotta do your tire changeover in the spring and the winter. You often have 2 sets of tires, one for the summertime and one for the winter time. So you'll see signs all over that say tire changeover. It means that you're changing your tires over for a new season. Hey Hunter, are you ready to go on our hike?
Yeah, I got everything. My bug dope, my bear spray, and my bear bell.
In the summertime, you'll often hear people, especially those that are going hiking or on an adventure out in the wilderness, talk about 3 things: bug dope, bear spray, and bear bells. First of all, bug dope just means mosquito repellent. Bear spray is a pepper spray made for spraying at bears if you don't want to carry a gun. It's actually been proven to be more effective than a gun at deterring a bear that might be charging you. So you just pull a clip and spray it at them, and it hopefully will stop them from charging you. The third one is a bear bell. If you are out in the backcountry of Alaska, you want to make a lot of noise, so you'll often see people with bells on their backpacks or on their dogs to make sure that they're making plenty of noise and alerting bears that there are people in the area. Having bear bells is a little bit of a controversial topic here in Alaska. Some people really think that they work, other people don't. But you really do want to be making noise when you're out in the backcountry because you don't want to startle a bear. Hey, what is that? We don't have a dog.
I'm starting a bait station.
In certain places in Alaska, you can have bear baiting stations where you put a stand up in a tree and then you put food down in a barrel and bears learn to come back and then you can come and shoot one. People often put dog food in these bear baiting stations.
What's wrong?
I just spent 3 hours finding the perfect gift for him and now I get to shipping and it says only ships to the contiguous states.
Oh, I hate that.
On many websites, there is a little star next to checking out that says only ships to the contiguous United States. This means the 48 states that are down and connected to each other in the United States. That excludes Hawaii and Alaska from shipping. And often you don't see it until you've spent way too much time researching a product and then you can't even get it shipped up.
Man, I know, it's not what you expected. Breakup stinks. I just gotta get through it.
People often joke that there are 3 seasons in Alaska. There is summer and winter and breakup season. Breakup season is what you would call spring, but it's when all the ice and the snow starts to break up and melt. And it's muddy and it's stinky and it is a terrible time and you just gotta get through it. And then all of a sudden one day, it's beautiful and green and summer is here. So if you hear someone talking about breakup in the months of February through April, they are talking about springtime in Alaska and probably not their latest failed relationship. Yes, free shipping. What? $100? International shipping? It's Alaska. Often when a website says free shipping and you get so excited and go to checkout and put in your zip code, you often find that all of a sudden you have to pay huge shipping fees to get things to Alaska. It often says that you are international or that it's just excess fees. And it's often more to ship the product than the product is even worth. So Alaskans are often leery if they see free shipping. There's usually a star that says does not include Alaska and Hawaii, or they just spring it on you when you go to checkout. Hey man, are you okay?
Yeah, I just got attacked by a state bird.
You got attacked by an eagle?
No.
The state bird of Alaska is actually the willow ptarmigan and not the eagle, but if you hear people scratching and talking about getting attacked by the state bird, they actually mean mosquitoes. Alaska has humongous mosquitoes, especially in the springtime. They're just giant. And on top of having big ones, we really just have a lot of mosquitoes. So if you're coming up, make sure you have good bug dope. Oh, boys, there's termination dust. It's the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end. When the end of fall is approaching, people often talk about seeing termination dust on the mountains. That just means the first snowfall that's coming down the mountains, and it tells you that winter is coming close. So it's kind of aptly named termination dust because it means it's the end of fall and the beginning of the winter season in Alaska.
Oh, it was freezing cold on Saturday, but I put on my bunny boots. Oh man, my feet were so nice and toasty. I love those things.
When you hear someone in Alaska say that they put on their bunny boots because the weather was cold, you might be tempted to think of big bunny slippers that they put on to keep cozy in their house. But bunny boots are actually Army surplus boots that are gigantic and keep your feet really warm, not your fuzzy bunny slippers. So if you hear someone talking about bunny boots, it's these big, giant boots. We hope you feel more prepared to talk to an Alaskan or speak like an Alaskan, and we'll see you again soon for part 2. Thanks for watching.